This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
You are listening to the Flagship Podcast with your hosts, Joe Lanza.
Money. That's how you pronounce. Rich, I want you to give me one. Money.
Is it Money? Money.
Money. Money. Not even, it's not money.
Money.
It's not Monet. It's money. 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 We have to pronounce things properly here.
Oh, of course, yeah. On this show, yeah, we're not going to fuck around on this show.
Money. 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 It's money. Say it, Rich.
Rich Kraetsch.
I'm Rockin' Rich. He's Jammin' Joe. We got a great show for you.
Blade Job and Chair Shotter here.
Yeah, ding, 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 ding. We got like bells ringing and everything.
Yeah.
And we are live on the Flagship Podcast. I am Rich. He is Joe. Joe, what's happening?
I just listened to the intro.
Yeah.
The money.
Mm-hmm.
That is the most annoying fucking thing I've ever heard in my life.
This is it. For the folks wondering at home, it's it. It's over. That we had our fun. We had our giggles. We had our laughs. It was the last time you will hear the money thing. I promise. It was funny. It was good. We got our jollies. Some people like it. Some people hate it. I'm good. It's over. I should have changed it already. It's February. That should have been our January thing. One more week for y'all, and now it's over. It's gone. So wave goodbye to the money thing.
I can't believe we've subjected people to that. That is infuriating. How annoying it is.
I had to edit it. I mean, I had to sit there and listen to the show and find every time that you said money and edit them all together. That was it. I was mad at you when that was over. And then I put it on there thinking that everybody was going to be like, oh, gross, never again. But half these masochists were like, oh, it's hilarious. More. But no more. No, it's got to stop. So
that's terrible. I do notice too that you just dropped a y'all. Do people go with the y'all in Chicago frequently?
No, never really. Yeah, never really.
Very interesting.
I didn't even realize I did that. Wow. Okay.
You just you said something about y'all in reference to the listeners.
Okay.
And obviously I'm exposed to y'all constantly. But I was surprised to hear you drop a y'all. I've never heard you say a y'all. I
don't usually. I don't know why I did. I don't even remember doing it. I don't know what happened.
Does the nurse say y'all?
No, never.
Yeah.
Never.
Interesting.
I'm not sure. Yeah, that's strange. I don't know what happened there.
I can't believe I just did the math. I'm going on 14 years in Texas, and I've never dropped a y'all. I have made the vow and the promise to myself that the moment I dropped a y'all, I was going to pack my shit up, put the house for sale, and go back to New Jersey. Those are my limits. I'll live here. I will not say y'all. I will not use ranch dressing. Those are two concessions I will not make.
How about a cowboy hat? Will you wear a cowboy hat?
I mean, as a gag.
I guess my follow-up question is, have you wore a cowboy hat?
I have a picture when I was 2 years old.
No, I don't care about 2 years old. Who cares about 2 years old?
I mean
in Texas as an adult?
No, I'm not going to wear a cowboy hat.
Okay.
Or those shit kicker boots. None of that. But I think I would wear a cowboy hat before I would purposely say y'all.
Okay. Is that so? That's the limit. The y'all is the limit for you.
Y'all is my breaking point. When I moved here, I took a lot of shit from the people I worked with because I would frequently say you guys, and I didn't realize that saying you guys was like some kind of northern thing, like in referencing a group of people. Like, for example, you guys are being ridiculous with this, whatever. Like, they would say, you don't say that here. You say y'all. And I was like, I do not say y'all. I will never say y'all. So, I didn't know that was the northern equivalent of y'all. I still think those people are wrong. I think everybody says you guys.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because I say you guys, but I don't know if I'm a northern elite like you are. I don't know if I'm an East Coast elitist like you are in New Jersey. I don't know. I do you guys for everything. I do guys. You know me. I do guys. I use guys to describe literally everything: inanimate objects, every human, anything, dogs, cats. Everything is guys. Yeah, those guys over there. I'm gonna grab one of those guys. Just everything is guys for some reason.
Yeah. You're reaching for a snack. Hey, hand those guys over here. Like,
right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Someone in the chat is bringing up the derivative of you guys, the use guys, which I've never said.
I would never say that either. Yeah, no.
I am not some corner bookie in Hoboken. That's who would say use guys. I'm not that bad. Okay, I'm not like, some street guy, some low level street thug, down far down on the mafia chain. Those are the use guys. I would never say use guys. Okay. But I do say you guys frequently, but I feel like that's not even a northern thing. I feel like you guys is a universal American thing no matter where you go. But these Texas people were all over me for it, and they tried to convert me to y'all. I'm never saying
and
y'all.
you held strong. That's good.
I've never even slipped and said a y'all. In fact, I mean, you've been communicating with me and talking with me for like 11, 12 years. I don't even feel like I've picked up any Texas accents.
You really haven't.
Like,
yeah, I was going to say that I think I find the most fascinating about you, because I am somebody that when I go to a place and I'm there for a couple of weeks, I don't I find myself a little bit, especially if it's a strong thing. Like if I'm in Charleston, South Carolina, and I don't think I don't know, you've never been to Charleston. You're not but I don't know if you know like what people sound like there, or if you ever watch the show Southern Charm, or does the TLB watch Southern Charm at all or anything?
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. Okay, that's fine. That's good. That's okay. It's my trash TV choice of choice because I know stuff about Charleston, but it's a very heavy, weird accent that's pretty much it's there. You know what I mean? Like, but it's ubiquitous. When you're there, you just hear it over and over and over again. Everybody talks like that. The second I open my mouth, they say, there's a Yankee. They know it from the second, because I'm talking so fast, and I always get, hey, slow down, Yankee. What's the rush? Where's the fire? And then these like weird Southern terms. But like when you're there for like a week or two, you start to kind of, I don't know, I find myself, I don't necessarily start talking that way, but I feel like I can understand them a little bit better. I feel like I'm talking a little slower. I'm not fully picking up on it, but I'm starting to get some of that. When I was in Italy, it was the same way. Where like after 2 weeks in Italy, I was just having like basic conversations in Italian. I don't remember any of it. I couldn't tell you now what I was saying, but like because we had to order all our food that way, or when you had to greet somebody, you did it. So that by the time I left there after like 2 weeks, I kind of I felt like I was kind of talking like, whereas you've been in Texas for 14 years now, and you just sound like fucking Jersey Joe still. You haven't changed at all. And I find that fascinating, because I hear TLB's Texas through and through.
Kinda,
she's not like hard, like, but she's got a little bit. You could tell she's from Texas. Like you might not notice it now because you're with her. She's from Texas.
You're right.
Just like you say, the nurse is from Chicago. She thinks you're out of your mind. She thinks you're lying, and I don't really pick up on it. But when you hear the nurse talk, you're like, holy shit, listen to this Miss Chicago over here. And I don't necessarily pick up on that. I pick up on it a little bit with TLB, which I find fascinating that you're in that same household and you haven't really, you have none of the drawl, none of the accent whatsoever.
I don't know. Like, it's not, I just haven't picked up anything. Like, I don't find myself saying any of that stuff. The thing about TLB is when she, if she is on the phone with her mother, like when she gets off the phone with her mother, now she's like Dixie Carter. Now she's like, she like picks up whoever she's talking to. So maybe because she lives with me, it's her Texas accent and her Texas ways of speaking are a little leveled off because she's picking stuff up from me.
Right.
Because she's the kind of person like you, where if she talks to someone for 10 minutes, she picks up all of their ticks immediately. I always know, we have a running gag. I always know she was on the phone with last. Because I'm like, oh, you just talked to your sister. She's like, how do you know? I'm like, because you're talking like your sister. Like you're using her words and her slang and her vernacular. And same thing when she talks to her mother or certain friends. Me, I don't know. I haven't picked up any of this stuff. Like I don't even say any like distinctive Texas words. I don't know. I've been here almost 15 years now. It'll be 14 years in April, which blows my mind. I can't even believe it. But yeah, to me, the nurse is like, that's like super thick Chicago. Worse than you
think like, she's the fifth person on the Superfans or whatever that walks in and like serves the Superfans their beer or something like that on SNL. Yeah. No, I rag. Ever since you did that, I got it on her all the time because she'll drop some things here and there, some real nasally, and I'll be like, "There's the Chicago accent again." She's like, "I don't." She gets infuriated about it, but it's good, it's fun. So I appreciate you doing that. And I said, "Well, the listeners said the same thing." I don't even know if they said that. I'm not sure if they did. It's mostly a you thing, but I know use it as ammo.
The kids are picking up Jersey stuff, and
that's not good. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what would you rather have. Jersey or Texas out of the children? I don't know.
Maybe not even Jersey stuff, just like Jolanza stuff.
Even worse. Much worse.
Like she told the girl to clean her room or something. She was like, I did it already. Like that.
Oh
like,
no.
Oh my God.
You've created this monster. You're creating monsters here. You can't do this. She starts talking about the gimmicks. Yeah, I gotta get the gimmicks. I'll be right back.
Yeah. No, I got TLB saying gimmicks. She says gimmicks all the time. She uses gimmicks all the time. So I taught the boy to say "oof, maron," right? I spent an entire afternoon teaching him that, just so he would say it when his mother's home, and so she would flip out, So, but then, like, he doesn't understand, like. So he said it in front. He goes, "Oof, maron," right? And she's like, "And we sold it." But because we sold it and it got over, now he keeps saying it because he knows it gets
he's just going to the act over and over and over again. He doesn't know the context of it or when you're supposed to use it. He's just spamming it now.
It got over. He got over. So now he's going to be a WWE writer when he gets older. Subtlety hammer.
Future director of lore in the company.
Yeah, so now he just oof, maron. I'm like, listen, there's a certain time.
Pick your spots. You got to pick your spots, kid. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I had to explain to him when to say it, and he did it for like a week, and then he's a kid, so he forgot about it. But yeah, so they're picking up some Jolanza things. I don't even know if they're necessarily Jersey things. What's funny is when I go back to New Jersey, as soon as I leave the airport and I go anywhere, a family's house, a restaurant, the streets, it fucking hits me, the accents. It's so weird. Like, even though I have it, when I hear it, I'm like, whoa, these people, what's wrong with them? Because I'm never around it anymore.
Right.
Like I talk to my mother and I'm like, holy shit. Like, this is like, I almost can't understand you. It's like, so maybe I have lost it a little because when I go there, I feel like I'm in another world. Because I don't. It's so I don't know, but maybe the listeners are the ones who know best whether my accent has changed at all over the years. I really don't think it has, though.
I feel like you're about the same. Yeah, I feel like you're about the same. I feel like we're both kind of the same accent wise. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to listen back to an old episode, but that'd be just terrible to listen to. So there's some people that go out there and listen. I'm listening to your SummerSlam review from 9 years ago. And I'm like, why? Don't do that. It's
and then
fun.
I'm always thinking, ah, shit, what I say on that one.
Right. Like, don't do that. There's probably something bad.
What am I getting
Joe
canceled
probably
for?
said something terrible there. So,
it's probably not the best idea. Then again, like when I go back in the old ones, I'm always afraid something awful, but then it never.
It's the same dumb show. We just goof around and say dumb shit and then bury WWE or so. It's always the same. Yeah, it's been pretty much the same thing for 11 years. It's working out pretty well for us. So, that's that. Happy Groundhog Day as well. I know you're a big fan of the holiday Groundhog Day. The one's dead. The one groundhog's dead. I forget which one. In some town is dead. I don't know if the normal Phil is still good to go. I think he is. The classic groundhog is still there. It's just the weirdest. Try explaining that to somebody who doesn't know a thing about Groundhog Day. It's like,
the girl asked me the other day coming home from school. She's like, Groundhog Day's coming. I'm like, all right.
so, like, yeah, when you're an adult, you have no idea it's Groundhog Day anymore. But when you're a kid, it's like, I forget why. Yeah. But as a kid, I look, oh man, 3 more days till Groundhog Day. As an adult, I have no idea until someone tells me Happy Groundhog Day, and I'm like, what? Okay, February 2nd. All right, cool. February or whatever.
It's one of them things that the fucking teachers like to talk about it. So that's
just to waste time, just to waste an hour talking about.
Yeah, so they come home with drawings of groundhogs and
weird animals,
this other bullshit, you know. So she's like, it's Groundhog Day, and she goes, what is it again? If he sees his shadow, and I was like, I have no clue.
Honestly, kid, I have no. If he sees his shadow, it is or it is. That's always every single year. That same conversation that happens in my household too, where I'll tell the nurse, hey, the groundhog saw his shadow, and she goes, oh, does that mean more winter or less? And I go, I don't know. I'm not sure.
So
I never know. I'm not sure. I don't know which one it is. Because I'm always like, yeah, he saw a shadow, And she's like, oh, okay, cool. What does that mean? And I'm like, I don't know that. I just know he saw a shadow. I'm not sure anything more than that. So
I go, I think it means there's 6 more weeks of winter. And she goes, aw. I'm like, oh, no. It means it means there's no more winter. Like, whatever makes you happy.
What do you want? What do you want to be happy about? That's fine.
Yeah. I don't want to break her heart and tell her.
Phil, get out of here. Yeah.
I don't want to be like, listen, it's all bullshit. I can't say that. You know what I mean?
Well, it's weird because like they're like, oh shucks, 6 more weeks of winter. And it's like, I don't know, that's like pretty normal, isn't it? I don't know. Like winter's never gone away in mid-February. Like it's always, for me at least, I'm not sure about you, but obviously living in New Jersey, like March is not great. You know what I mean? March is pretty shitty. So it's like, I'm not exactly heartbroken that, March is also going to be shitty again, like it always is every single year. So I'm not sure, honestly, even what the, has anybody ever done like analytics on Puxatawny Phil, if he actually knows what he's talking about here?
Ask Nate Silver. Maybe
see if Nate Silver's done some work on it.
Yeah. That's the go-to guy for that bullshit. I'm sure he has done some work on it. Didn't he lose some cred? Hasn't he been wrong about a lot of things lately or something?
Phil, I think.
Nate Silver.
Oh, Nate Silver. I thought you were talking about the groundhog, and I was like, yeah, I mean, sure, I guess. Nate got real lucky on one presidential election. Has been kind of on fumes about that for a couple years now, and I don't think he's been nailing a lot of the stuff lately. But
didn't he start with like sports analytics or something? Of course,
yeah, Baseball Prospectus. He was a BP guy for a long time. Yeah, PECOTA, and I think PECOTA was his thing. Don't quote me on that, but he was PECOTA. But then he started saying, "Hey, maybe these projection models can look at U.S. elections." And I believe he got 2008 right or something. I forget what it was, but it's like, even at the time, I was like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, Obama won. Like, that's probably going to happen. Like, I feel like everybody, but it was something like he nailed it exactly. Like, the projection model nailed every state exactly right and every percentage pretty much right or whatever. And it was like, all right. And then that's when he created his website and started growing and growing and growing. And I think he's had some body blows since then. So,
there's like 8 states that are unpredictable, though.
Right. And it's the same 8 every single year, every single time. So it's like, okay.
Yeah. So I could see you getting very lucky with like Ohio and fucking Florida or whatever the fuck, and then so I guess for 12 years, like you're saying, has been coasting on getting those 8 states right 12 years ago. But I'm
being told by someone in the note of chat, Nate Silver's record is great. Actually, Rich is dead wrong here. Okay. I mean, you don't hear his name anymore. So if
I don't know.
Great, I see people dogging on him all the time. So I don't follow because I don't give a shit. I don't care. But like, I don't know. People seem to be dogging the guy all the time. So I don't know if his record's great because nobody talks about 538 anymore. So anyway,
he gets ragged on constantly. But then again, I mean,
everyone does. Who doesn't get ragged on constantly? Right.
Everyone and everything is bad. We all know that.
Right. Well, then I either apologize or I don't apologize to Nate Silver. I don't really care. Once he stopped doing PECOTA and writing in Baseball Prospectus, I stopped giving a shit about Nate Silver.
Yeah, fuck Nate Silver. Who cares about Nate Silver? Fuck Nate Silver. Fuck that dopey groundhog. What even is a groundhog? It's like a beaver without the flat gimmick.
Right. It's like
right?
an unhelpful beaver, basically. It's just
what's the point of a groundhog? Like,
I mean, they're pretty cool. I like groundhogs, but
the fuck do they do? You know, they're just stupid and fat, and they don't have the flat tail like the beaver. Beaver has a skill, you know. A beaver with those fucking teeth and that fucking tail of theirs, they'll build shit, you know. They'll stop up a creek, build a dam. What does a groundhog do? Like, what's its purpose? Does it kill predators? What is its contribution to the cycle of life in the ecosystem?
You're asking the wrong guy. I don't know. I have no groundhog knowledge whatsoever. I know that they do have big teeth and they make holes, but that's about the extent of my my groundhog. I know they whistle or yell. I think whistle pig is like their nickname.
What?
And that's all I know. Yeah, that's all I
They
know.
whistle?
They whistle, yeah.
So it doesn't have the skills of a beaver.
No.
It's not
A
as
few do.
effective.
A beaver is like pretty awesome. Beavers are cool.
It's not as effective as a mole. So what's the use? It just
I think it's about as effective as a mole. I think they're in the mole family ish. Do not quote me on that. I do not need when I say they're in the mole family, I don't literally mean I don't know. So don't come at me with actually they're in the marmot family or whatever. I don't care. You don't have to correct me. I just mean in the same like pantheon of animals. Like the marmots are sweet.
a marmot. Like groundhog's actually a marsupial.
Right. Actually, it's the world's largest rodent. Okay, cool. I don't care.
Yeah, no one cares.
I don't give a shit, dude.
Nobody
I just they dig holes and that's all I got. So I don't know anything else about them. They dig holes and they incorrectly predict weather. We're being told in the room chat room the percentage for Puxatawny Phil not great. 39% of the time is he accurate on his.
Yeah, see, it's shit. These groundhogs are shit. So,
what are we doing? Let's move.
Wait, but 39% at what?
At predicting if there's, but then this is the thing too. Like, what are we judging on? More winter or less winter? Like, how do we declare winter over? And where?
Right,
yeah. It's the whole country. So it's not even like the winter could be done in Colorado, but then the winter it's still cold in Chicago. This is ridiculous.
Well,
I can't believe
we're in the midst of our winter freeze.
Texas. Are you one? I have no. I'm like your mother who has no concept of how big Texas is or where things are in Texas. Are you also frozen? Like completely everything's iced by you, or no? Is that just like Dallas and Fort Worth and?
You're gonna be so disgusted. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Because I was disgusted. Tuesday night, we get an email. They closed school on Wednesday because it was going to be too cold.
Oh, okay.
No precipitation, Rich.
Just too cold.
Just too cold. So there was no school on Wednesday, which I found outrageous.
Now what are we talking temp-wise?
Listen, it's been wet and nasty and cold. All I can tell you is it wasn't nothing. It didn't even freeze. Like it was just wet outside, and they closed the schools. It was utterly ridiculous. These people, they just don't know. As soon as it dips below 40, it's a state of panic around here. Now, on the rare occasion it snows, I understand because they don't know how to drive in the snow. That's understandable. They'd all be dead. They're all going to be in a ditch. So when it does snow, I understand, even when it's a dusting, why they shut things down. But they shut down everything because it was cold on Wednesday. It's just gross. But what can you do? What do these people know?
No, do they have heaters? Like I imagine the Texas school doesn't have heat, right?
I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, because like we have the inverse here in Chicago where we don't have like a lot of our schools have no air conditioning. So there used to be times in like the fall when we get into school and it'd be like 95 degrees out and we're just sweating our asses off and the teachers have all the windows open and stuff because they were just like, screw that. We don't have, we don't have air conditioners because we're never in school when we need air conditioners. So who cares? You're gonna have to eat shit for like a week or two in September, but then you'll be fine. It's cool. Like end of August, early September, you'll be fine. You'll move on. But yeah, I wonder if it's probably the inverse in Texas. They probably just don't have heaters. So I can imagine that.
So leave your fucking jacket on.
Hey, look, I agree.
You know what I mean? Jeez. No, I'm pretty. They got a brand new school. You've been in a school lately?
Oh, they're palaces.
Oh my God. They built this fucking thing like 3 years ago. So, I go to these parent teacher bullshits, right? They don't even, do you know, I'm probably going to date myself here, but that's okay. Rich, do you know they don't have chalkboards anymore?
Why would they?
They don't have chalkboards.
You are
anymore.
dating yourself. Even when I was in high school, they got rid of all of our chalkboards. So
You didn't have chalkboards?
no, we just had whiteboards. We just had whiteboards everywhere.
What year did you graduate? No. Oh, no. So you're dating yourself too, buddy. Okay.
Right, I graduated in 2005 is when I graduated.
Yeah. All these people in the chat saying marker boards. No, you're all wrong too. You know what they have in every classroom in that school now? They're fucking like 50-inch television monitors that look like TVs, right? And then they have these special, like, weird writing pens that are only specific for the monitor, and it's all like electronic.
Like the smart boards, I think they're called, right?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. And you go in, and there's a screen. It has their whole itinerary like listed on the side. 1 o'clock we're doing the fucking alphabet. 2 o'clock, whatever the fuck, going outside to play with rocks. 3 o'clock or 12:30 recess, whatever. And the teacher has like this gimmick that writes on the fucking and it has wheels. They can move it anywhere they want. That shit blew me away. I'm used to some type of board on the fucking wall, either with chalk or the fucking dry erase like you're talking about. That's what I had. This is crazy. They don't have that anymore. It just doesn't exist.
This sounds like a school that definitely has a heater, right? They have heating and air conditioning for sure.
I'm sure they do. I mean, it's a brand new. They built it 3 years ago. I'm sure.
It's got both. So
they must have all that shit. But I don't know. What the fuck are we even talking about?
No, we were talking about groundhogs and stuff. But I guess we can talk about wrestling at some point today. And while unfortunately the wrestling we're gonna have to start off talking about here, we're gonna get to plenty of other stuff as well. We'll talk about the Royal Rumble. We'll review the Royal Rumble. We'll talk about the WrestleMania Goes Hollywood card so far. If you think I'm gonna ever call it WrestleMania 39 or whatever and not just go by WrestleMania Goes Hollywood Saturday and WrestleMania Goes Hollywood Sunday, you do not know me, because it is going to be WrestleMania Goes Hollywood the entire time this WrestleMania. But AEW house shows, we'll talk about that. Reels, we'll do a hey, do you have Reels segment to figure out if we do, in fact, have Reels, because Reels is going to start getting into the wrestling game. CMLL. I cannot fathom the last time that you and I talked. Can't even predict or try to guess the last time we talked about CMLL. Probably 2019, maybe early 2020. In a context of, hey, we watched CMLL and let's talk about it, and not, hey, is CMLL going to die or what?